What would you do if the person you loved most tore your world apart and left you to drown in a lie you couldn't prove? My name is Ethan, and this is the story of how my life unraveled in a single night, only to be rebuilt through a fight I never chose. It was a Tuesday evening, the kind where the rain taps at your window like an impatient stranger. I came home to our small apartment, expecting the soft coos of our 6-month-old daughter, Lily, and the warm smile of my wife, Clara. Instead, I found silence. The kind of silence that screams something's wrong. Her clothes were gone. Lily's crib was empty. A note on the kitchen counter read, "I'm sorry, Ethan. We're done." My heart plummeted, a stone sinking into a bottomless sea. Clara had been distant for months, but I chalked it up to the exhaustion of new parenthood. I never suspected she was slipping away, not just from me, but into the arms of another man, a co-worker named Mark, whose name I'd only heard in passing. She took Lily and fled to him, leaving me with nothing but questions and a gnawing ache in my chest. I called her phone, her friends, her family. No one answered. No one knew. Or maybe they did, and I was the fool left in the dark. Days turned into weeks, and I was a ghost in my own life, haunting the places we used to go, hoping for a glimpse of my daughter. Then came the knock at my door. 2 police officers, their faces stern, handed me a warrant. Clara had accused me of something unthinkable, harming Lily. She claimed I'd been abusive, that I'd threatened them both, and that's why she ran. The evidence? A doctored photo of bruises on her arm, a fabricated text thread, and Mark's testimony swearing I'd stalked them. My world didn't just crumble, it burned. I'd never laid a hand on Clara or Lily. The accusation was a blade to my soul, sharper because it came from the woman I'd vowed to love forever. I was arrested, my name smeared across local news. Father suspected of endangering infant, the headlines screamed. Friends turned away. My family doubted me. I sat in a cell, staring at the gray walls, wondering how love could twist into this nightmare. But I couldn't give up. Not for me, but for Lily. I hired a lawyer, a scrappy woman named Rachel who believed me when no one else did. She dug into Clara's story, unraveling it thread by thread. The photo? Edited, with metadata showing it was altered on Mark's laptop. The texts? Sent from a burner phone traced to a store near his apartment. Rachel found a neighbor who'd overheard Clara and Mark arguing about keeping the story straight. Slowly, the truth emerged. Clara had built a lie to justify her affair, to keep Lily, to erase me. The courtroom was a battlefield. Clara sat across from me, her eyes avoiding mine, clutching Mark's hand like a lifeline. I wanted to hate her, but all I felt was grief for the woman I thought I knew, for the family we'd been. My lawyer presented the evidence, each piece a brick in the wall of my defense. The judge's gavel fell, and the charges were dropped. But freedom didn't feel like victory. Lily was still with Clara, and I was a stranger to my own daughter. I fought for custody, pouring every cent and every ounce of my soul into it. The process was a marathon of pain-endless hearings, social worker visits, and Clara's tearful lies on the stand. But Rachel was relentless, and so was I. I showed up to every meeting, every court date, with photos of Lily's first smile, her tiny hand in mine. I wasn't perfect, but I was her father, and I'd never stop fighting to prove it. Months later, the court ruled in my favor. Shared custody. I could hold Lily again, feel her weight in my arms, hear her giggles. The first time she reached for me, my heart stitched itself back together, piece by fragile piece. Clara moved on with Mark, but her lies had cost her more than she'd gained. She'd lost my trust, and in time, I hoped she'd see the weight of what she'd done. I learned something through the fire. Love can break you, but it can also make you unbreakable. I lost Clara, but I found a strength I didn't know I had. For Lily, I'd face any lie, any storm. And as I tucked her into bed each night, her tiny hand curled around my finger, I knew I'd never let go. Not of her, not of hope, not of the man I'd become. This wasn't the life I planned, but it's the one I'm living. And for my daughter, it's enough.